Welcome to Lovely Esteem. I'm Lovely, the auntie you always wanted, the sister girlfriend you didn't know you needed, honey. You gotta have self-love to have self-esteem, and here we know that God don't make no junk. So we're gonna sit down, talk about it, and see how we can fix it, baby. Let's do it. Hey guys, this is Lovely with Lovely Esteem, and welcome back to the Healing Through Conversations podcast. I'm excited about the podcast today because I love a woman who believes in cutting through the BS, who is not interested in all of the extra noise that's out there, who really wants you to heal from the inside out in the most holistic way possible, and somebody who also wants you to enjoy self-care. Like, self-care isn't supposed to be sad all the time. You're supposed to enjoy what you're doing to yourself. You're supposed to learn more about yourself through self-care than you are through almost any other practice that you do. So today we have the beautiful Miss Lisa Allen here to talk to us. And what I'm always excited about is talking to women who actually went out and started their own business. Good Spark. Like, we're talking about a holistic company that covers so much. I was stalking the Instagram page a little bit, just a little bit, because I'm always interested in the integration of technology with the holistic practice. And I really want us to look at self-care as a really full-bodied event versus just like one thing. You only journal, you only run, you only take care of yourself. So Lisa, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Please tell us about yourself.
Hi, Lovely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You are so welcome.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, wow. It's been a journey getting here. It's one of those things that I didn't realize I was going to start. And then when you look back at where you came from, you're like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense, So I grew up in the 90s. My mom was all about eating healthy. She did yoga. She was kind of spiritual. And that was not a thing back then, right? It wasn't like she tried to find Whole Foods, like not Whole Foods, healthy food stores.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really exist back then. And then it was funny because we also, as a family, my parents and I'm an only child, but we did a lot of road tripping. So hiking, camping, all around the American West. We like gold panned in a river, like legit gold panned.
Cool beans. Cool.
Yeah. We were a little bit of, exploring, but it's funny because my dad was always chasing history. And he loved looking for ghost towns. So, I'm in California, I'm in the LA area. So we would go all up and down California, Nevada, Utah, looking for ghost towns. And I learned a lot about history and the love of history and the way they did things back then. Right. So I actually I actually participated in a lot of living history events that we had in the LA area. So I would like get my little prairie dress gown and learn how to like do things the way they did them back in the day. And and then I grew up and it was like, I don't want to tell anybody about any of that.
And that's the best part. That's the best part. Now it's called cosplaying, people. That's what they call it now. So.
Right, exactly. Right, yeah. and I kind of had to find myself, and I ended up working in consumer products, and then I just started coming back around to that, I found yoga in my late 20s, about 10 years, 10 years before it really got popular. I found it again. And again, I say because my mom did yoga, and it's a beautiful, beautiful practice. I love doing yoga. Just trying to get back out in the outdoors, and then just finally realizing that that's all we need. It's like, get outdoors, move your body, journal, be creative, and be kind. I used to do a lot of volunteering prior to the pandemic. I got to get back into that. I don't know what happened.
All of us had to reset. All of us had to reset. Like, it really it changed the way you kind of started looking at life. And I think that some of us have found so much of ourselves in that now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just working, I had a day job for a while, working full time, trying to get the business going. I just didn't have time. But yeah, so, and it just sort of started to all come together. It makes sense to me that wellness, by definition, is a whole body, feeling good, whole body, mind, body, health, soul. And yeah, it's like, I feel like we're leaving out so much of what is self-care. Self-care is just taking care of yourself.
It's so self-explanatory, but I think like just in reading your bio and kind of researching, I try not to use the word when I say I'm like, because I get invested. Like anybody
Yeah.
who's going to be on the podcast, and I, especially when I love your energy and your vibe, I'm like, what makes you happy? What makes you glow? Right.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you were like, listen, you don't need to spend $1 million to do
Oh,
self-care. Like you literally could just go outside right now and do it.
yeah.
However, if you want to, here are some really good ways to be able to do it in a way that helps you align more with your purpose. Because I think sometimes self-care, like you said, capitalism has really taken it and ran with it. And I think that it makes it so hard to not want to take the picture, to be on the Instagram, to take the pic, like you're not really enjoying what you're doing. You're just kind of trying
No.
to get the picture so you can be over and done with and run back to the car.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the things that I really enjoyed with reading about what you were trying to do. But one of the questions that I sent Lisa was, what's one myth about self-care that
Mm.
you want to disappear forever? I wanted to hear that so we could lead the
Oh,
conversation.
okay. Gosh. And it's so funny because I was thinking about that too. And I don't know if this falls into like self-care or wellness. They're all kind of interchangeable, but I'm gonna say fear mongering.
That is so good.
I find that on the internet, or not internet, on social media, it's like everything is about fear mongering. Everything is about don't do this, don't do that. You need to do this, you need to do that. Don't eat that. And it's like, you know, I I can't, my head. I'm just trying to get through the day.
I am so, so with you because that is interesting because that is like my number one thing. The I can't.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. I'm like, why
Right.
shouldn't you? And why can't you? Because if healing and I understand what you're saying about does it fall under wellness, does it fall under self-care? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if it affects how you move throughout your life,
Yeah.
it is self-care,
Right.
and especially when your self-care is causing you mental distress, that's
Mhm.
like the opposite of what's supposed to happen. So
Yes,
that was like,
exactly.
okay, like, and it's interesting because I will agree with you. In the 90s, I was into like the whole clean girl aesthetic or the kind of dress down. And
Mm.
my best friend, it was vegan,
Oh,
had locks in her hair, everything was done natural, blah blah blah.
yeah.
And she was like, they were like, well, what's wrong with you? I'm like, we can't all be weird. Like, you can't call everybody, everything can't be weird or hippie. I'm like, at some point, it's just your lifestyle, and everybody
Yeah.
has a different lifestyle that they're allowed to live.
Right.
And why are you freaking out? Like what about that? What about nature? I mean, I will say this. I used to be so afraid of hiking because I'm like, what happens if you are approached by the animal of your nightmares?
Yeah.
Like that, but irrational because wherever you
Yeah.
live, it tells you you can take a hike down the street. Just that's it. Like it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
crazy.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so tell me more about your adventures outside and how they shaped the way you saw self-care.
I think just being outside a lot growing up, being outside, I was either outside camping, hiking, like I mentioned, or, my dad, he was a mechanic by trade, but during the weekends, He was a kind of an amateur carpenter. He was always creating stuff, woodworking.
Mm.
And my grandparents' garage was turned into a woodworking shop. So it just was like full on, like so many different machines. They had all kinds of woodworking machines and they built it out. So it was a full on woodworking shop. So I was in there hanging out with my dad and my grandpa, and my godfather, just making stuff. Oh my God, I made horrible Barbie furniture out of like scraps of wood. Oh my God, it was so
It's
funny.
okay. Who hasn't made like a Barbie item? I
I
mean, for
know, I
real.
mean,
Like even if you
yeah, I
couldn't
mean,
afford Barbie, you made like a, even if it was a knockoff Barbie, you made like a
right.
little dress or like a popsicle stick dress. Like something happened.
Exactly, exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I was what, 10, so it's not like,
But it's creative, and that's a
Yeah.
part of self-care, which you really talk
Yes.
about so much about how creativity and
Yeah.
art is such a huge part of self-care. And
Yeah.
and I think that having those like little seeds planted in you so young, even though we think, because as we become teenagers and our parents don't know anything, and then turn 20 and then we realize that they know so much, but we're now ashamed to say that they know so much. Then
Yeah,
we hit 30,
exactly.
and
And
at
then you're
30
like,
we're
oh,
like, please tell me more. Please
exactly.
tell me more.
Exactly. Yes, that's the whole progression right there.
It really is. So tell me, like, how has your, like, what are the creative ways that you participate in self-care or that nurture the part, like the inner child in you that you still allow to be a part of who you are?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do journaling. I need to journal more. I always get back into like I journal a lot and then I stop and then I get back into it. I like to write. I write short stories.
I'm a reader. I'm a reader. Just
Oh,
saying.
I'm also a reader, of course. What else? I used to make these little, gosh, I used to because now I don't have time with the business, but these little mini nature mobiles. So it's like twigs with beads and wood, and just like the things would hang down.
Aw.
Yeah, so that's kind of the things I would do.
I love
Oh,
that. I love that. And
yeah.
one of the ways that I always think about self-care is in like authenticity and
Yeah.
how it aligns with who you are. And self-care looks so different in so many
Oh yeah.
spaces.
Right.
You know, if you live in the city, self-care looks very
Yeah.
different than if you live in a rural area
Yeah.
versus even if you live in a county area.
Yeah.
And depending on what it looks like to be adjacent to your neighbors, because sometimes what you consider self-care, your neighbor may be like, you have got to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very true. And it's absolutely not one size fits all. I mean, it's self-care is doing something for you. It doesn't have to be whatever social media or the internet says you have to do. It doesn't have to be always yoga. It doesn't have to be journaling. It doesn't, whatever it is that makes you feel good. But you have to like nourish your mind, body, and soul.
Mm.
Because it's not always about one or the other. It's you're one thing. We are organic beings made up of a mind, body, and soul.
I love
So
that.
thank you. So yeah, it's just that's what self-care is. And if you're feeling good, then you're doing it right. That's in my opinion.
That's a t-shirt right there. That is a t-shirt right there. Extra income. There you go, Lisa. You got extra income coming in.
Good idea.
But because I really feel like that is how I that's how I live my life. That's what I think of, like when I was building this podcast, it was so important for me to attach words to every part of us, our spiritual self, our
Mhm.
mental health, our emotional self, but
Mhm.
also your financial self. We need to talk about
Mhm.
those things. And that is also a part of self care
Yeah.
because
Yep.
the amount of stress that so many of us are under trying
Yeah.
to keep up with, and especially and a lot of us don't even want what we're trying to keep up with. We're just trying to collect it to say we have it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm raising my hand because I have been that person. Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
me too.
you
Me
know
too.
and
Hmm.
and then feeling the guilt of and then the shame of and then trying to rectify that, then you
Hmm.
overwork and then you then you're overwhelmed at work. Now you've blown your mind, and you rinse and repeat every, every paycheck. And so at some point you just be like, I'm so low to the ground. What can
Yeah.
I do to make me feel better about me? So
Yeah.
tell us about Good Sparks and what it offers, how it can help, how we can actually help you grow your business.
Oh, okay. So Good Spark is self-care for mind, body, and soul, simply put. So it's earth-friendly. It's a curated collection of earth-friendly, sustainably made, non-toxic products for body, mind, and soul, as I just said. So everything from deodorant, toothpaste, journals, bath salts, soaps,
Mm.
and it's trying to really encompass even cards. So I find cards are good for the soul. Why? Because yeah, sure, we send cards for someone's birthday or what have you, but you know what? Maybe just send a card just because you want to make someone smile. And I find that these products that are made by these, small businesses, artisans, they really care about their product, they care about their brand, they care about their environmental footprint. And it's a genuine, authentic, they're genuinely authentically care about what they're putting out there. They're they of course have a bottom line, they have a business they need to run, but it's not like a big soulless corporation where it's like, oh, we're just gonna slap on some fun, greenwashing words and make it sound pretty and whatever. And plus all the packaging. So when I curate a product, I make sure it's little to no plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's unavoidable, like the deodorant packs. So I curated a collection of travel essentials, and they're all, you know, for the most part, sustainably packaged, non-toxic, but the deodorant packs are in like these little pillow, I think they're Mylar, they said. So, it's kind of because it's a cream, so it's not
Yeah.
entirely unavoidable, but
Yeah.
for the most part. So yeah, and it's, just want because and the other thing I was gonna say, so kindness, that's my other North Star.
Mm.
And so 2% of every sale goes to a hygiene kit that I put together for the unhoused. And I
Don't make
put
me
them
like you
together.
any more than I already do. Don't
Oh.
do it. Don't do it.
So yeah, and I donate them to local organizations that distribute them to, the people in need. So yeah. So it's, help if you want to come shop from Good Spark, help support something that supports communities, that supports nonprofits, supports a smaller environmental footprint. Yeah,
I love that. And what I really love, especially when you becoming an entrepreneur, is not for the weak of heart.
it's
Okay.
not easy.
It's not easy. And there are days where you need somebody to care about you more than you care about yourself
Yes.
because somebody will walk in the room and be like, "Did you bathe today?" You're like, "I can't. I have to get these emails out. If I
Oh,
get these
I've
emails out,
been
if I can
there.
just get to," it's like they're looking at you like, calm down. Like, I can't calm down because if I don't calm down, it's not good. So it's like,
Yeah,
and also
I've been there.
you learn you learn so much about self-care when you're failing forward because becoming an
Yeah,
entrepreneur is a lot about hear and know. It's a lot about thinking that you're able to accomplish something, feeling in your head that that you can, obtain it, and then realizing, oh no, there's like seven other steps that I didn't even know about
yeah, yeah,
that I need to
yeah.
obtain. So even with you taking care of yourself and taking the time out, and I wanted to say when you talked about journaling and needing to get back, the great thing about journaling is the ebb and flow of it.
Yeah.
Like there are
Oh
times
yeah.
when you open up your journal and you're like, what was happening in my life? Why would I write that?
Yeah.
you know? And then
Yeah.
the next entry is like, and then I went to the park. It's
Yeah.
like, you're like,
Yeah, it's definitely like,
what am I going
yeah.
through? What the great thing, what does self-care and joy mean to you?
Self-care and joy.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I mean, oh, joy. That's such a beautiful word.
Isn't it?
It is. I think joy is. not feeling pressure, not feeling the should. You know what I mean? The should.
Another t-shirt moment. That is good. Not feeling the should.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think I think we get I with and you and I we grew up without social media. Thank God, I'll have to say.
because I have to say, nobody needed to know that. None of that.
I I we had enough drama in high school with those paper notes.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. For real. Take me back.
So I could only imagine what these poor kids are going through with social media. But anyway, I digress. But I'm just saying with social media, I feel like we feel a lot of pressure to do this and do that, and people put content out for the sake of content. And we all want to learn and we all want to figure out a better way to do things. And that's why we kind of eat it up.
Yeah.
And it becomes overwhelming. And that's where I feel like the should is it starts to become too heavy. And it's like joy is just doing what you're doing because you feel good. You feel joy, not because you feel like you should do it.
I love that. And I always say that you can find joy in the darkest moments. You'll be going through something so heavy, and it'll be a moment where you like kind of step outside and there's like a rainbow, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay. Joy isn't
Yep.
always constant because life
Oh,
moves. It's moving so fast at this point. I'm like, what day is it? And not only what day is it, what time is it? Because
yeah.
it's just going,
Seriously.
or sometimes it just feels like it's not going anywhere. But that's usually when you're frustrated and you're like, if I could
Yes.
just get past this. But
Yes.
I agree with you so much that the pressure of shoulda, woulda, coulda, why can't I? How come I didn't? I should
Mhm.
have been more. And I'm like, your time is coming. Like when your time is there, it'll
Mhm.
be there. It's not running from you. Not at all. Believe
Yeah.
you me. Sometimes we're running to it and it feels like we're always running because we haven't taken that time to absorb the lessons that we need to learn to
Yeah.
get to the next step. And that
Yeah.
can be hard because patience, giving yourself patience and
Ooh.
grace, it's not taught. It's
Yeah,
really not
it's
taught,
not.
and you don't learn that sometimes until you have gone through so much in your life. And you're like,
Mhm.
how much more do I have to go through before wisdom
Yeah.
kicks in? Because,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wisdom is not about age. It's not about, because there's some wise young people and wise
Yeah.
old and fools that are older. And you're like, you haven't learned yet?
Yeah. That is so true.
You know? So,
That is so true.
so like when you think about daily rituals that really help calm a person and that can help ease life, but just like small little, like 2 or 3 hacks. What would the 2 or 3 hacks be for you?
You know, when you start feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, something's not working, go outside, take a walk. I don't know what that hack is if you live somewhere where it's snowing, because I unfortunately do live in a place where it's pretty sunny year round.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think about that. I was like, what would someone do if it's like snowy outside? I mean, maybe still, bundle up and get outside for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I just think go outside, the fresh air, and just remove yourself from that environment. Even if you can't go outside, actually, it's remove yourself from that environment.
That's a great
Um,
hack. Yeah.
it's you know, go to another room, go to a coffee shop if you can, something. Just get out of that environment because you need to clear that headspace because that helps you kind of remove yourself from the situation if you physically remove yourself from the situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, and I agree with you with like, and if my guess is that if somebody is used to being in the snow, that they have already created options,
Yeah.
to move about.
Yeah.
Get on the snowmobile, because I'm sure like
Yeah.
things that I don't even think about, just I don't even think about. But I agree with you. A little bit of vitamin D will change the way you
Yeah.
see things sometimes. And then do know that a lot of the self-care hacks that we have sometimes feel like it's a very first world type thought.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I love your approach to it because it's like, hey, take a walk, touch something green. That's always my thing.
Mhm.
Touch something green. If you can't touch
Yes.
something green, look at something green. Or even if
Yes.
you're on your phone, pull up a guided meditation,
Yeah.
pull up something about focused breathing.
Yeah.
Those are things that you don't have to, there's no money involved. It's
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
you by yourself. Listen
Yeah.
to some trickling water, maybe listen
Yes.
to some, the rain falling, those type of
Hmm.
things that may help you find that just the calm, because sometimes we need to take a deep breath, but we don't know that we're holding our breath,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you
That
know?
is 100% true. And actually, I would even say, and I love the idea of pulling your phone out to meditate or listen to water or what have you, nature sounds. I would also say put the phone away.
Yes.
Put the I've actually, when I work, I've actually started leaving my phone in another room because I get, it's just knowing it's there, I'll pick it up
Yeah. Yeah.
and put the phone away. It's crazy how it takes the weight off of you. Just that thing right there.
Yeah, no,
When,
I
you know,
100% agree. And and I'm like, make self-care approachable for whoever you are and
yeah,
wherever you are, even if it's
absolutely.
creativity, nature, maybe
Uh-huh.
it's focusing on your mental health, like honestly focusing on your mental health. And I don't mean, and remember, mental health is your ability to cope and deal with good and bad. It's not
Yeah.
a diagnosis. We're not talking about
No.
illnesses.
No,
All of
no,
us
no.
all of us deal with mental health every single, from the moment
Yes.
you wake up, even in your sleep, depending on who you are. And at this point, going through like menopause, perimenopause, I am always up. I don't even know why they
Oh
gave me a bed at this
no.
point, but it's okay. I do understand. It's a part of life. I'm living it. I'm living
Mhm.
it. you know.
Yep,
And
yep.
so, what's your philosophy for self care? Like, what's your vision? How do you envision your business growing, and where do you want it to go?
Ooh, so my philosophy for self-care is really just keep it simple. I think, and some of this is so obvious, but I feel like keep it simple. Of course, eat nourishing foods. Connection is such a big thing, and we always talk about
Mm,
connection because with the pandemic and social media, we're all so disconnected. And obviously, the pandemic's over and we're kind of still feeling our way back to the in real life thing. But connection to ourselves, connection to nature, connection to our loved ones, even connection to strangers. And that's where the kindness, I think, comes in.
hmm
Hold the door open for somebody, smile for someone, buy someone a coffee. I know that doesn't sound like connection, but it
But it
kind of
is.
is.
It really is.
Yeah.
When somebody holds the door open for you or takes a moment out of their mind to like,
Yeah.
because that's really what it is acknowledgement. Like, my being
Exactly.
is important enough for you to stop for a moment,
Yeah.
and then you going about your day, I going about mine. But make sure you say
Right.
thank you.
Exactly.
Please say
Yes.
thank you. Please. It makes
Yeah.
such a world of difference.
Yes. Yes. Say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, please.
And I mean that's kind of what Good Spark is built upon, those three pillars of nature, connection to nature, creativity, and kindness. And I want Good Spark to grow into something more than just this business. I want it to become a movement of
Mm.
a normalization of using products that are not made in heavy plastic packaging with, you know, questionable ingredients that, are probably not good for our bodies and the environment. I want that to become normal.
And
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, no, but I really think that's why we have these conversations. That's why I'm so
Mm.
grateful for you coming on the podcast,
Oh,
because
thank you.
I think that the more we have conversations, the more we normalize
Yeah.
thinking outside of the box. And also
Mhm.
it's reach, right? Because sometimes when you're
Mhm.
a small business, you don't have reach. It's
Yes.
you're like
Yes.
you're connecting to your family, then you're connecting to your friends,
Yep.
and you hope you can connect to your community, and then you get a
Yes.
couple little spots here and there. So it's like having a platform or a space where you get to push out more joy. You get to push out good vibes and good energy. And,
Yeah.
then you attract that to you. It makes such a big difference. And
Yeah.
because I always think to myself, I'm like, okay, like what do I want my legacy to be? And I'm with you, kindness.
Hmm.
If nothing else is said about me,
Hmm.
she was a kind person,
Yes.
right? Because
Yeah. Of
there are going to be days where I fall short of my expectations for myself,
course, we're
and then there are going
human.
to be days where I'm like, I did it. Like I made it. I made it through the
Yeah.
day and nobody's hurt. Everybody's okay. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that like that's such a huge part of self-care is like
Yeah.
understanding that we all fail forward, we all learn lessons, but to celebrate,
Yeah.
like I was having a conversation with a young lady one time, and I was like, I felt so much elation, and she was like, I have never heard anybody put that in a sentence before, and I was like,
Mm.
because we are taught to be happy and sad, mad or
Mhm,
glad,
mhm,
but
mhm,
like elation is a different kind of joy. Like
mhm.
it's
Yes.
almost
It's
it almost
like,
transcends time. You don't even know
yeah.
you like your full body's involved in
Yes.
it. And it's
Yes.
scary sometimes because you'll be like, my underarms are itching, I'm kind of sweating, my arms are sweaty, and it's not anxiety, you
No,
know,
no.
but it just feels so different. And I'm sure like
Yeah.
being in nature and like seeing how beautiful the world is
Mm.
outside of a little
Oh
tube
my
makes such a
gosh.
big difference.
Yes. When I take my dog out for a walk, I don't bring my phone. And when she's, there taking 20 minutes to sniff a blade of grass,
That's that
I'm
Twitter. It's
like,
that Twitter. That's
yeah.
that Instagram.
Yeah. I'm like staring at a tree trunk. I'm like looking at the patterns on the tree trunk and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Or, I'm looking up at the sky. I'm like, I live in a pretty urban area, but there's still a lot of birds. We have coyotes around at night,
Oh wow.
and it's really weird. I don't.
We have Fox, so I'm not in.
Oh,
Like they're not
cute.
the same. They're not the same. But I agree with you. Like just looking out and seeing the animals, and I have a
Yeah.
family of deer. The mother comes back every year, and I'm like, "Where are your
Oh,
babies?" And she
wow.
let the
That's so
babies play,
cool.
and I'm like, really, because I live in the county, but I'm still in very rural. Like I live on 3.5
Okay.
acres of land.
Oh,
So
wow.
so
That's
it's like
awesome.
so when the animals are out in my yard, they get to play. I mean, other
Yeah.
yards, they may not make it. But in my yard, so they've learned to like, you can come bring the baby to
You're
this
safe.
yard.
You're safe.
I'm safe.
Oh, that's
If I
beautiful.
could Snow White myself into the middle of a deer circle, oh my, they were like, she
That would
cried
be
for
so
3 days.
cool.
It was so beautiful.
Wow. It's so funny. We were eating breakfast, my boyfriend and I, the other morning, and we have a big tree in the front yard. And there was a woodpecker on the tree branch. And I just kept looking and I'm like, oh my God, that's a woodpecker. I was like, so like a 5-year-old. Like,
It's the best. I've lately I've been talking about adult joy and how so many of us, as we
mm,
became adults, we were told to
yes.
suppress those feelings. But
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, at this point, I'm 49, and you're not going to tell me anything. Like,
Right.
we're kind of not going to do that. But just really expressing joy, allowing yourself to dance when you eat, allowing yourself to
Yeah.
be excited about seeing something new or reminisce about old things that made you
Yeah.
happy. That is self-care. That is
Yeah.
so important to your wellness. It helps reduce stress.
Yes.
It helps reduce some of that serotonin that's running through your system like a crazy mad person, and it alleviates, and your organs appreciate that because
Yes.
I think one of the big rewards for self-care is how the inside of your body heals through
Hmm.
self-care. And do you have
Yes.
products that really help that? Do you do like holistic vitamins or anything like that? Or is it just really outward care?
It's mostly outward. I do have some teas. I don't have supplements. To be honest, I'm a little on the fence about supplements only because I'm not sure if I trust
Yes,
what goes
no,
in them.
understood. Understood.
Um, it, so I have teas. I have
Teas are
teas.
great. Teas are
Yeah,
so healthy depending
yeah,
on what you have. And My I love it's the African violet tea. I
Oh.
don't even use sugar.
Oh, I don't either.
It's so
I don't.
good. It's like it has a sweetness to
Oh,
it by
nice.
itself that doesn't require sugar. And I love,
Ooh.
like, I am the person who likes, my husband always say, you could eat grass. I'm like, not really, but technically, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I like bitter flavors and stuff, like
I'm the
very
same.
strong flavors.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. So,
Ooh, that's really nice. I'm finding like hand blended teas are so good.
mhm.
I've started like I don't drink enough tea, but like this morning I was trying out a tea from actually it's a brand I carry, the Beach House teas. So I bought some samples of some other flavors and I was trying one this morning and I was like it was a bee I forgot what it was, but it had a hint of sweetness, but honey just gives it like a smoothness. It was really nice. It
Mhm.
was really lovely.
No.
And then I carry one that's called Fiery Forest, and it's a nice warming. There's a hint of cinnamon. It's like nice
Mm.
and warming. It's a really nice tea.
Yeah, no, as you were
Yeah.
talking, I'm like, I have to make sure I circle back because tea is my thing. Like,
Okay.
of all the things that I would order, tea is my
Nice.
jam because a good tea,
Yeah.
like, because I'm like, a good tea, it doesn't matter, cold, warm, lukewarm, hot. It's just something so great about it.
Yeah.
And
It's
the
comforting.
holistic, like just the benefits of
Yeah.
the tea itself.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's I love just the tradition or the ritual of making the
Yes.
tea
Yeah.
slowly, like warming your water up and then
Yes.
having to wait for that and really being calm, which gives you a chance to meditate. It gives you a chance
Yes.
to stretch and like think about your day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
appreciate your body for being able to pick
Yeah.
up the tea kettle. Like those little things like that
Yes.
are the moments. And I'm not saying I do it all
Yes.
the time because there are days where I'm like a mad woman. Like,
Yeah.
why is she moving so fast?
I hear you. I hear you.
You know?
Oh, it's a wonderful reminder to just stop and slow down. And I actually grow herbs in the garden. So we have rosemary. Our cilantro right now is off. It's going crazy because I think the cool weather.
I
And I
wish.
will, yeah, and I'll go pick some rosemary and lavender. We have a lavender bush and just make tea out of it. And it's just, oh, it's so nice.
See, you just like I
And
see. Both of us did the shoulders like
like, ah,
yeah, because this is the time like we are now our gardens getting prepared to have
yes.
all the things happen, and I am so excited about growing lemon balm. I know people are like lemon balm. I'm
Ooh.
like lemon balm makes some of the best tea because it gives
Oh,
you
that's so
those
awesome.
savory,
Hmm.
sweet flavors, and it's great when you dry it. It lasts for a very long time.
Yes.
So I'm always thinking about like what can I grow that I can dry out and have last past
Yes.
the winter because it's not going to
Yes.
go all the way through, but that kind of stuff. So I love the fact that you can kind of go outside. And as you said, like you don't have to live in the country to do that. Like you can
Oh,
have, I mean, I love urban gardens, I love rooftop gardens,
yeah.
even just having
Yeah.
like a little windowsill with like your favorite herbs.
Yes. And that right there is, if you live in New York City, let's say, and, go to I don't know where in the hell you would go in New York, but get yourself a little pot of herbs and put it in your windowsill. And that will help you, that's a connection to nature right there. Because that little pot of herbs will nourish you because you can, pick it and cook with it or make tea with it and I don't know. I always get there's this wonderful feeling of whenever I can cook with something that I grew.
No,
I don't know. It's like, and it's
you
not
feel
in,
it's confidence. It builds your confidence up, one,
yeah, it's just,
but it's like it's that feeling of rightness. It's like I did something so very connected for my body. Like my
yeah,
hands grew this. It's like when if you're a
yeah,
painter or you're a seamstress or whatever it is,
yes,
when you accomplish that thing, and
yes,
it really does help build up resilience and one because I used to kill plants. I'm like they used to come to my house to die. It was horrible. I'm like what am I doing wrong? And then I
yeah.
realized, oh, you can overwater a plant.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ew. Everybody else knew. And then I had like an older lady. She was like, listen, put the water down. Like, what do you mean? Every morning, on TV, they used to show us they would water their yard,
Oh,
back garden.
yeah.
She was like, no, that's 30 minutes every week, babe. Stop it. Oh, okay. But and I'm so excited. I'm excited about tomatoes this
Oh,
year, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited because I'm going to attempt to grow corn again. I did it one year and only
Ooh.
got 4 ears of corn, but
Oh, nice. More than
yes,
we did.
yeah.
We
Well,
tried some corn and we got, yeah, it didn't.
but I did that with watermelon. Watermelon said no in my house, and I don't like
Oh,
watermelon, but my family does.
oh,
And I was like, I'm gonna grow you guys watermelon. It was all green, like there was no red, like
oh, no
none.
way.
How disappointing is that? But then I realized you have to water watermelon. Big surprise. Who knew?
Yeah. Where does the water come from?
Where
The
does the water come from? So
water.
I want you to tell us how we can reach you, website, social media, and just let us know how to stay
Yeah.
engaged with you.
Yeah, you can go to goodsparkshop.com, browse around, find something you like. We have wonderful gifts as well. You can go to my socials are Good Spark Shop, just Good Spark Shop. So Instagram. I actually just started a Substack, which I wrote. It's funny, I just wrote a little essay on how I was making breakfast, and I was like, I never knew breakfast could teach me about taking time because I went outside and picked some herbs, and yeah, it was this whole thing.
I love it.
Uh
I love it. I'll have to follow you on Substack. I'm on there too, and I'm just trying to get used to it.
yeah, same. It's something yeah, so and I can send you the link if you want to post it. It's
Yes,
Good
please.
Spark. I don't know what the handle is. It's Good Spark for the Substack. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the
I know. I'm like it's like like we're trying to get used to the phonetics of another platform to be on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think Substack is a great way to you can chat with me. I'm going to start trying to post more regularly, just my thoughts and things. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. So I am excited to try the tea. So I will be ordering the tea
Okay.
because I am so big. I'm like, tea, but I saw tea and then I saw soap. And I was like,
Yes.
ooh, because I have sensitive skin and I'm always looking for organic ways
Oh.
to find like just a good soap that doesn't fall apart instantly when water hits it, but
Oh.
something that,
Yeah.
because some soaps just like it seems like as soon as the water hits, it starts to melt away. And I'm like,
Oh.
okay, but like something
Mm.
that can still make me feel like a little luxury, little
Yes,
class,
yes.
so I'm always looking for
Yeah.
it. So I'm definitely going to be on there searching it
Okay.
out.
I was gonna say, I think I might have just sold out of it. There was a Simply Milk soap that's really nourishing. I do have a lavender goat's milk, which I think I still need to put up there.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
that I
called
would be very interested in that because
goat's milk is
lavender is
so,
my
yeah. I know I have a lot of lavender products because lavender is just so beautiful and calming, and yes,
yes, I love
I
it.
have a lot of lavender products.
So Lisa, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
You're
I have
welcome.
enjoyed
Thank
talking to you,
you.
and I can't wait. When I get the products, I'm going to do a video so you guys can see it because
Ooh, thank
I
you.
love, I love supporting small businesses, but
Thank
I most
you.
of all I love uplifting women because I feel like we're the heart and we make
Yes,
so much happen and we can stop so much. So we
yes.
thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. We hope to talk to you soon. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you, lovely.
You have a great rest of your day because you have a good amount of day left over
Oh,
there.
yes. Yes, we still have some time.
I love it. I love it. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you found some healing, connection, and joy. Until next time, bye, loves.